Hello everyone, welcome to the FM Dugout. How are you all doing? It's episode 6 now of the Hexagon Challenge here with Ajman Club in the United Arab Emirates Pro League. So, a confession to make. I've built a new PC and I've used my time in the last couple of days to work on some new things for the channel. So you'll have seen a new intro and also got this new news ticker along the bottom, which is to give you information about the club and the manager, if you like, that I might not cover off in the video. Now, the confession I have is that I recorded this entire video with my microphone disabled. I had been doing a few kind of videos without sound, and as a result I've ended up with recording this full video without a single drop of sound. So it's going to be a bit unusual, and you might find that I'm actually taking my cue from what I see on screen, and I'll maybe stop mid-sentence or something, so apologies for that. It won't happen again. It always happens once, but it won't happen again. So anyway, this season we are in the Pro League, so we have a chance of qualifying for the Champions League, which is the ultimate goal of this save. The top 2 places in the league will get qualification to the Champions League group stages, and third place will get playoff. I think that we should target third place. I think we could potentially do it. I've told the board that I'll get a mid-table position. Now that is so that we can ensure that we get a decent wage budget. Financially, things are not good. I don't know whether it's the way that the update was done or not. There didn't appear to be any prize money for the first division, so I don't know if that's the way it would have been in real life, or if it was just a thing that was missing from the update. Who knows? But we didn't get in for that. We have had some season ticket sales, but not amazing. I think it was 1,200. So financially, it's not a particularly great position to be in. And the board obviously chose to slash the wage budget. So to survive, really, I needed to have a decent squad. I didn't think I'd be signing anyone for money. So I ended up just saying mid-table. And to be honest, I think we can do that. I think we can do a little bit better. But we'll need to see how it goes. So yeah, we can see my cursor now moving on screen. I don't know what I was talking about at that point. Oh yes, today's game is in the Emirates Cup, which is a 2-group format with the top 2 teams going into the semi-final. You can see Al-Wada already have played in our group against Al-Khalij, beating them 3-0. Al-Khalij obviously came up the divisions with us, so they're not finding it too easy to begin with. There's no continental qualification, I think, in this competition, so not too bothered whether we win or not, but obviously we're up against teams from our division, which will be good for us to see how we can get on this year. So transfers, pre-season stuff is over. You can see a big list of players who have left the club. A lot of these guys are youngsters or they were backup. Kalfan was a right back who had left for us, and Yakub as well. I think Kalfan was over 1k, Yakub might have been just under. We also had like Mohammed Al-Antali, who was getting a decent salary but wasn't really playing for us, so nobody there on that list that I'm too worried about losing. Saeed Mohammed was one of the signings I had made, but he never really featured. Now right at the bottom there you can see the one that really stands out. Driss Fatoui left the club for 1.4 million, decent amount of money to Al Jazeera. Now Al Jazeera made an approach for him, and it was 500k I think that they had offered, and I wasn't happy with that. I wanted to just kick it out, but Driss was out of contract next summer and he isn't going to talk, so decided to cash in, but tried to just get as much money as I could. Set it to 1.4 thinking, nah, they're never going to do that, and sure enough they came back with 1.4 million, and Fatoui has now left the club, which I'm a little disappointed about. He was our player of the year last year, and I would definitely say he was our key player. So to lose him to a team in the same division as us, not particularly ideal. But you know, we had to get some kind of money in, and you can see from the finances we were at 700k, and that's with the 1.4 million that came in for Fatui. Now I think I'm about to click on it. Yes, I am. Right, here we go. You can see he's earning 40.5k. Now he was on 20k when he was at our club. And it just goes to show you he is well and truly above this kind of standard in the league. I think here there's just no way we could have kept him. He wouldn't have signed a contract. Even if we qualified for the Champions League, we wouldn't have had the finances to get him. So yeah, he moves on, we move on. So signings, we made 10 signings in total, and I'll just be going through them one by one. So first off, we've got Walid Anber, who comes from Al-Ali in the same division. Now he's 23 years old and he's an attacking midfielder, and he was signed really because he's got decent potential, I think, and he's going to be backup for 525 a week. It's not too bad. His physicals are pretty poor, but he's got some decent skills like his first touch, his technique, flair, vision and composure are all pretty good. Then we've got Mohammed Walid Al-Junaibi, who is a young goalkeeper we signed from Al Ain, who are obviously one of the big teams in our division, and I think he's pretty good. I didn't like the tendency to punch at 13. Now he was signed to be backup to Mizmari, who was our first choice goalkeeper last year, but he actually got injured in the pre-season, and it just kind of highlighted that we didn't have an experienced goalkeeper who would be able to take over if we lost Mizmari to injury. So what I actually did was I went out and signed another goalkeeper. I signed Mohamed Khalef from Banias, who actually won the division last year, but he wasn't the first choice goalkeeper. This is me going back checking Mizmari's name here, because I think I called him Mizari. Now Khalef is 27 years old. He was in their reserves in Banias, and I think he's a good goalkeeper. You can see his tendency to punch and his eccentricity are quite low, which I think means that he's quite a solid goalkeeper. I don't like those to be too high. His throwing's not great, but his kicking's good, so it looks as though he's going to be kicking more than throwing. Good with one-on-ones, not a bad goalkeeper at all. Next up, Yusuf Ahmed, who is... Yeah, and I'm really excited by him. You can see pointing out his non-competitive stats from the friendlies. Now, we did play a couple of really small teams, so 9 goals in 2 starts and 3 sub-appearances isn't going to be really reflective of how he's done. He also came from Al Ain, and they released him, just didn't see that he had potential, but I can see it. You know, most of his skills there are double figures apart from maybe composure or concentration, but we can work on composure in his individual training. But really excited by him. He won't take over from Michael, I don't think, but he'll be there or thereabouts coming off the bench. Next up is Abdullah Al-Hamadi. If I actually click on him, come on. Yeah, I actually lost my track there. So yeah, he's 18 years old, central defender, and I think he's going to be kind of in and around the first team. Pretty decent skills, to be honest. We'll work on his heading and his marking, but I'm quite pleased with him. Then next up is Ryan Cinnamon, who was one of our foreign signings, so former Rangers right back. Now, I've signed him because with my manager being Scottish, I can actually find Scottish players who are free agents without having to go through every single club and look at them. Now, Ryan certainly fits the bill in terms of what I was looking for. A young player, right back was an area I wanted to sort out. With Kalfan leaving, I didn't want Rashid to be the only one at right back. You can see he's only earning £500 a week, so from a financial point of view, I think it's a good deal. And his skills are pretty decent. They're all kind of double figures, not particularly good attacking wise, so it's one of the areas that maybe he's not going to be able to do very well as a sort of attacking fullback. But yeah, I'm really pleased to sign him, and you can see from his friendly stats, 5 appearances, 1 goal, 3 assists, and average rating of 8 is pretty good, to be honest. So I'm quite pleased that we've managed to get him. And it's always nice to have another Scottish person around, someone that will talk English. Next up, Ali Ismail Ibrahim, who's going to be one of our first choice central midfielders. Pretty solid player. Certainly I would say his skills are pretty well rounded. Good vision, teamwork, work rate, natural fitness is good. He's quite quick, passing, technique, first touch, dribbling, finishing. So, pleased with the signing. He came from Al Nassr, obviously in the same division. So yeah, I mean, again, not a bad signing. Technically, some of the other ones that aren't kind of key attributes aren't amazing. He's maybe not as rounded as someone like Fatui, but very good signing nonetheless. And I'm not actually sure what I was hovering about for here. So next up was Hamid Mohammed Ibrahim, who's another central midfielder. Now he's 21, only earning £100 a week. He was signed from Al Ali, and as you can see, his skills aren't quite as good. He's been coming off the bench, so he's certainly going to be back up. He's going to be a sort of development player, I think. That's me just pointing out he's only on 100. Salim Ali, another central defender, not as good as Al Hamadi, so you can see some of the areas he needs to work on with his jumping, reaching, heading. But again, £110 a week is not an awful lot to pay for someone who's decent enough to cover for the first team. Next up is not Mohamed Khalef, because we looked at him earlier. Will Miller. Now, Will Miller is an excellent player. He was offered to me by a scout, and I gave him a trial because I knew nothing about him. And no, it wasn't a scout, it was an agent who came to me and said, do you want him? So I took him on trial so that I could actually get a closer look at him, and he just seemed to be someone that had a lot of potential, and certainly for this season he can play a big role for us. Now, in terms of his contract, 1.3k a week is not too bad for another one of the foreigners. You can see that the cons, 3 of them are because of the eligibility rules, so it kind of skews it a little bit. 7 pros, very well suited to Pro League football, and that's his current ability, so potential could be even more than that. I think he's an excellent player. I don't know much about him, never really seen him before in the game, so excited about it to play in that attacking midfielder position. As I say, he was released from Tottenham. He scored an absolute peach in one of our friendlies, but his skills, they've kind of deteriorated very, very quickly since he's joined, and it's a little bit troubling. I don't know why it's done that. Long shots is the only one that's kind of worked in his favour, so maybe it's down to our training at the club. Yep, just pointing out that he's going to be playing as attacking midfielder. I think he'll push Kamis out wide left instead of Mubarak or Saif. So that was our signings, and we'll move on to look at the friendlies. 5 friendlies, 4 wins and a draw. So the first game was Al Nassr, a revenge game from the last episode in the President's Cup, and you can see from the stats we did pretty well in that game. Apart from the possession, everything was in our favour. Then Dubai, from the division we came from, Cinnamon and Yusuf Ahmed with a late goal, but you can see from the stats we should have absolutely romped that game, but we didn't. So I'm not too disappointed at the scoreline. Then we played Al Jazeera after Fatui had left, and they've got some good players, so this game was a real test of our abilities, and we didn't do too badly, but pretty wasteful in front of goals. 10 shots off target. You can see that we scored very late on with Yusuf Ahmed, which is something that he seems to do well. He scores off the bench, and this was a game where Miller scored an absolute peach. You see their players, they've got Thiago Neves earning 79k a week, then you've got Jefferson Farfan, Driss Fatui, Park Jong-woo, Mirko Vicinic. I'm not actually sure how they've got so many foreigners. They're not going to be able to register them all. This is a bit strange, but certainly they've got a good strong squad, and that was a good result for us. It's certainly not anything to be disappointed with. We then played Mliha, a local team just to build up the confidence in the goals. Al-Kamali getting a hat-trick in that game, and you can see from the stats it should have been a lot more. After 11 minutes we were 5-0 up, 24 minutes 6-0. We should have won by double figures, I think, but they took the foot off the gas. Then Al-Bataya, we beat 7-0, 4 goals for Yusuf Ahmed in that game. Again, similar story in terms of shots on target. Not a bad game at all. And that takes us up to today's game against Al-Dafra in the Emirates Cup Group B. So let's take a look at the squad and see how we're going to line up. So here we go. A couple of things. So Abdullah Al-Hamadi was covering for Fakir, who was injured, and he's on international duty. So yeah, Fakir is not injured, he's suspended. So Hassan will come on instead, and we will put, yeah, we're going to change all the subs because I've just seen now that it's not a friendly, so let's clear them all out, and then we'll clear the rest of the subs apart from the goalkeepers and defenders. So we now change Abdullah at left back to Ali because he's suspended, and then put on Rashid. So that gives us a right back, a centre back and goalkeeper. Always like to have one wide, one central defender, and the goalkeeper's the first 3. Bit of OCD creeping in there. So change Michael as our first striker. He, as I say, I think he still will be our number 1 striker. Ahmed on the bench, and then we just fill up the bench with the rest of the players. So Abdullah Ahmed central mid, and Al-Hamadi out wide right. I think we were looking here for a left-sided player, which would have been Booty Saif or Mubarak, but both of them were away in international duty. So we went with Ahmed Abdullah, I think, here. Yep. And set team instructions to pass into space, because I keep forgetting to do that in game. And that's us off into the match, and we'll give Junabi number 21. Yep, 21, come on, let's go. So obviously I know the result, so I'll try to keep my commentary as impartial as possible here. So you can see the way we're lining up, same as before, and they're quite defensive minded. So one of these games again where you expect not to get an awful lot of possession. So we'll tell the guys assertively that we believe in them, and off we go. So it's going to be a challenge this year, a step up, and obviously changing quite a large portion of the team. And an early chance here for Al-Dafra from the corner, but Hassan breaking clear, lofts it forward. Michael, can he finish? He's taken down maliciously, and that should surely be a red card. Last man, clear goal scoring opportunity, and he's given a yellow card. So as I said in my last episode, when Adel Abdullah gets sent off, this is what happens. Kamali smashes it down the middle, no chance for the goalkeeper there. 1-0 to Ashman. Yeah, so I mean, that's one of the things you find, inconsistent refereeing. I suppose it's realistic, it does happen in real life, but that for me was more of a red card than Abdullah. Chance now for Al-Dafra off the crossbar from the corner, and that was quite a dangerous moment there for us. So 15 minutes gone roughly, and possession 39% we've got there. That's really, really low. A little bit troubling, but certainly in terms of shots on target, 7 and 4, we were doing stuff with the ball when we get it, so that's good. If we weren't doing it, I'd be worried. Another chance for Al-Dafra here. Luna in the middle of the park finds Diop. Back to Luna, out of overlap, and Khalef makes the save at the near post. Excellent save from the new goalkeeper. Corner from Luna, headed out, only as far as Khamis. Back out to Luna, whips it into the box, and a header looked like it was going wide, and Khalef just shows off with an acrobatic save. Early signs good for the goalkeeper so far, and he thumps it up the park. Ali with a header to Khamis, out wide left. Hassan, Ibrahim over the top, Ali makes it to the byline, cuts it across. Kamali off the crossbar, and Khamis with the rebound smashes it home. 32 minutes gone, 2-0 to the good. 9 shots, 6 on target. It's going well for us today. Cinnamon now with the throw, another chance. Kamali in the box, Cinnamon whips it across. Is it a special? No. Hits the crossbar, comes back off the goalkeeper and out for a corner. Khamis whips it in, header at the back post, and it just goes wide. Good pressure from the guys in this point. 10 shots, 6 on target. Possession's recovered a little bit, so I think on the whole they've done pretty well here. And we'll go into half time 2-0 up. So as ever, tell the guys one way or another that we're pleased. Now, the little thing here, I don't say you're complacent or don't get complacent, because it never seems to go down well. They always end up being confused by it. So I always just stick with you're doing well, and then tell them that there's more to come from them, and that always seems to go down better, as you can see. So the start of the second half, and we're off. Is there going to be a chance from the kick-off? Miller plays it to Ibrahim, out wide looking for Kamali, at the byline looking for Michael, and it's cleared by our former player Muhammad Ali, actually signed for Al-Dafra for nothing. 13 shots, 7 on target now. Cinnamon with a throw to Miller, skips by his man, whips the ball on looking for Michael again. It's cleared only as far as Cinnamon. Then he knocks it to Hassan, to Ibrahim, to Miller, to Al Kamali, back to Cinnamon, whips it across, pinging about in the box. Hassan with a shot, and it's saved. I think it was going wide anyway. Nice short one-touch passing there. It's the football I want to play at this club, and certainly at all the clubs in this save, and it seems to be working quite well for us at the moment. So here's a chance now for Al-Dafra. Abdulaziz on the ball to Al-Nakibi, Yaqub, Khamis in the centre of the park, and they're just pinging it about. We can't get near them. Luna into the box, and he goes for the shot. Another save by Khalef, but I wonder why he didn't square that. Luna now with the corner, the header over the bar. Al-Dafra piling on the pressure now, but they're unable to break through our defence as it stands. Khalef with 7.7 at this moment. That's pretty impressive for that goalkeeper at this early stage in his career at the club. So Hassan picks up a yellow card. Now, I think Ahmed Ibrahim at 60%. That's his usual in terms of his stamina being so low. He's got to come off. And there we go. He comes off. 6 stamina. Cinnamon uninterested at the moment, and never really like that. Don't like complacency and lack of interest. I'm going to give Yusuf Ahmed a go instead of Michael. Michael's got his goal. And as I said before, Yusuf Ahmed is a really promising player, so I want to give him as much game time as possible this year. And he did well in the friendlies. So we'll give him a go here and see what he can do in a competitive game. Another chance for Al-Dafra from the set piece. Yusuf Ahmed now. First touches. I don't know where he was passing that. That was a bit disappointing. He's just giving that away. Al-Dafra now playing it into the corner with Diop. And they've got a chance here into the box. Khalef just makes the easy save. And will we get another break from here? Launches it up the park looking for Ahmed. Hassan can't get there. Diop finds Baral. Luna. Baral again. And this is a good move. It's dangerous. And Diop. I don't know if Salim Ali put him off there, but he cannot finish it. And we survive. So it's still 2-0. But certainly Al-Dafra look as though they're on the up here. And this could be dangerous for us. Hassan picking up a yellow card there. And yeah, I mean 50-50 possession, 15 shots, 7 on target. It's going fairly well. Not too much else that we can change here. The yellow cards was one of the kind of concerns. Kamali now plays it to Cinnamon, whips it into the centre, and it's a penalty. Rather surprisingly there. It didn't really look like a very strong penalty, to be honest. Miller was pushed. Kamali steps up. Can he finish a second penalty? Is he going to put it in the same place? Oh, Mr. Cool just strokes it home along the ground there. Nice and composed finish from him. That's the second penalty of the game for Kamali. 3-0 now, 8 minutes to go. We should be safe. Al Kamali out wide right to Miller. Back out to Kamali. Miller again. Ibrahim. Nice one-touch pass in here. Yusuf Ahmed. He breaks through and gets another goal off the bench. I think he's the super sub, to be honest, the way it'll be this season. That's a great finish for him in his debut. Very, very pleased with that. Here we are, 90 minutes now. We're going to get one more chance. Ahmed Ali to Miller. Plays it across to Al Kamali. The shot's blocked. Mohammed with the clearance, only as far as Cinnamon. Ibrahim. Kamali. Back to Cinnamon. Will he cross from deep? Last chance. Nope. Miller, will he cross? Back to Cinnamon, keeping possession. Cinnamon with the... Oh. A lovely ball in, but Ahmed was offside and put the header wide anyway. But he was getting into the right positions, which is encouraging. So, excellent result for us there. 4-0 against a team that really probably should have done better than that. So we'll tell the guys that they've done well. Nobody gave them a chance, and none of them have responded at all to that. So let's just leave it there. So Al Kamali picking up man of the match, 2 goals, an assist, 9.4. He's got to be pleased with that. There was a lot of interest actually in him the tail end of last season. I just rebuffed all the offers for him. He's out of contract as well next year, so we'll need to see whether or not we can sign him up. So in terms of the league, we are top of the league, joint with Al Nassr, who we beat in a friendly 3-0, so I'm not too worried about them at the moment. In terms of our fixtures, the Emirates Cup seems to be a bit like the Champions League, so you play games spread out over the season. So I'll probably do the last game in the Emirates Cup against Al Wada to see whether or not we're going to qualify for the semis or the final. In terms of the league, looking at the fixtures, I really want to do ones where we're playing bigger teams, and Al Ain at home on the TV, that could be I think we'll go with that one because it's going to test ourselves against a bigger team, and we'll see how we get off in the start of the league campaign. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode and enjoying the series. If you have, hit that like button and leave a comment for me. Really appreciate any feedback you have on this series or any of the changes with this news ticker. Is it annoying? Do you want to see it gone, or is it quite good? What do you think of the new signings, and how do you think we're going to get on this year in the professional league? So guys, until the Al Ain game in a week, I'll see you when I see you.